So last night, Speaker of the House McCarthy and President Biden apparently made an agreement. They have come up to a middle ground where they think that they can pass a bill that will raise the debt ceiling. Some people on the conservative right are crying foul, and they are squawking up a storm. People on the left are squawking up a storm too. So we're going to go through kind of what we've already had revealed to us by Speaker of the House McCarthy, but then we're also going to get some more details as this afternoon progresses. Apparently, some more of the details, and the bill is actually going to get drafted in the next day or so. Speaker McCarthy said that he's going to get this bill before the House and pass it within 3 days. So this is going to get railroaded/ramrodded through both the House of Representatives as well as the Senate, supposedly. But will there be defectors? Will Speaker of the House McCarthy get kicked out of his office? That's a whole bunch we need to cover. Let's jump into it, folks. Welcome to the Poplar Report. I'm Steve Poplar, an accountant by trade. So debt ceiling, numbers, yeah, that's something I'm interested in. So we're going to be talking about that. Of course, I've mentioned in the past, my opinion on the matter is that the United States is going to default on our debt eventually anyway. I think it's better for us to default on the debt instead of just spending more money, inevitably basically causing inflation, which is going to make all the regular, ordinary Americans pay for this dearly, as opposed to making the investment people, the bankers, pay for it dearly now with a default. But anyway, I'm not in charge of the country, and neither are you, so let's just try to understand what the crazy people in Washington, D.C. are trying to accomplish, and maybe some of the things that they're not actually saying out loud, but they're doing anyway. So the deep state has come up with a wonderful spending package. Let's look at what's in this deal. First off, they're going to raise the debt ceiling for 2 years. Now, I'm looking at this, and like I said, we don't have all the details here. So the question is, did they project out how much money the U.S. government is going to spend between now and the end of the 2-year period, and then they raised it by, they're going to raise it by that much, or are they actually just suspending the debt ceiling for a time period, regardless of how much the government spends? I do not know that for sure, but a lot of the articles I'm reading out there seem to be just talking about 2-year raising of things. So let's see about that. All right, so we're obviously spending a lot more than what we're taking in right now, and so this deal is going to put a spending cap for fiscal year 2024. Now, fiscal year starts in September, so this year is just going to be spending what the budget. We don't actually have a budget. We have omnibus spending bills. It's stupid. The United States government can't actually pass a budget because the United States government can't ever agree enough in order to actually pass a budget. We haven't passed a budget in like 20 years. So, you know, we probably won't be passing one in the future for the foreseeable future. But spending is supposed to be locked in flat for 2024. So 2024, the U.S. federal government's not supposed to spend any more money than it did in 2023. Well, it's not a cut. And, you know, if you're spending a ridiculous amount of money, way more than you take in, not spending more money is, I guess, sort of good. But one, I don't even believe that. That's just ridiculous. Like, the federal government is going to not spend more money, but all their programs are, you know, there's so much that's inflation adjusted. That's kind of hard to believe. I'm really going to be interested in seeing the details on this thing. It sounds like a total bunch of BS to me. Honestly, that's just what it sounds like. This is just, I don't believe it. I mean, we're not talking about any cuts anywhere, and then we're just going to have same budget levels as the prior year. Like, nah, there's so much on autopilot that's supposed to go up. So flat might mean a major and a smaller increase. And that's what we're hearing from a bunch of the conservatives out there, is basically saying spending increases slowed is not spending cuts. All right, and then so flat for 2024, and then there's supposed to be limits to how much it can go up in 2025. So we're just going to spend, the spending is going to increase slower than what was originally planned. So if you sound a little, if it sounds like I'm a little disappointed with this deal already, it sounds like, well, where's the deal? And then, like I said, the debt ceiling is raised for 2 years. And now there were a couple of things that were also on the agenda for the Republicans and the conservatives out there. They wanted to see an expansion of the work requirements for food stamps. Now, that doesn't mean more people are going to be subject to the work requirements. It just means that the people, the very, very few people on food stamps that have work requirements, they're going to have to work a little more, which it seems more like a publicity stunt to me, but I mean, it will impact the people that are already subject to that. But so many people are on food stamps are not subject to the work requirements. It'd be a totally game changer if more people that are on food stamps had to work a small bit, as opposed to the people that were working part-time have to work a little more part-time. Is that really going to change the economy? Is that really going to hold people accountable? Anybody on disability doesn't have to work for food stamps. Anyone, I believe, who have children and stuff like that, they're exempt. And I believe that anyone who's on like Social Security or retired or certain ages, they're exempt. So the majority of people on food stamps are exempt from these work restrictions anyway. And so, like I said, it seems like just more of a publicity stunt. They want to say, hey, look, we upped the work requirements, and it's, yeah, okay. Then the next thing that was on the agenda was streamlining the oil and gas project proposals. So big oil, big gas is going to be happy with that one. And, I think a lot of people out there are going to be okay with that. The only people that are going to be unhappy with that are the environmentalists. They're going to be very unhappy about that. So, okay. And then that's basically what's in the deal. It's 2 years spending limit is going to push it past the presidential election. So 2 years from 2023, that's going to be after the presidential election. And that means that this won't come up again. There won't be any more leverage for Republicans going forward until after that with regard to the debt ceiling. This is their one and done chance to do that. Democrats don't get the clean debt ceiling raise that they were hoping for. So a lot of people are just not happy. The Democrats aren't happy with some of the stuff in here. Republicans aren't happy because they didn't get really many cuts. And this is also being kicked 2 years down the road. So nobody's happy with it. Now did McCarthy sell out the conservatives? Did fiscal conservatives? Did sell out libertarians out on this? Kind of appears so. But then again, what kind of a deal could he really get? Republicans control one house of Congress. They don't control the Senate. And then on top of that, they don't control the presidency. So how much of a deal were they really expecting to get? I don't know. A lot of us are out here probably going, it'd just be better if we just didn't make a deal at all. Just let it crush, let it shut down. The federal government, what agencies in the federal government other than Defense Department, which doesn't really defend the United States, it really just exists to attack other countries, FBI, you go through the list of government agencies and, the United States would be better off without most of them. Immigration Department, that kind of does the opposite of what it's supposed to do. Basically, every government program does the exact opposite of its stated purpose. I mean, like the Defense Department is the most most obvious of that. It's like we don't defend the United States; we just attack other countries. We have an invasion on the southern border. Where's the Defense Department? It doesn't, it's not there. It's in like, 100 some countries otherwhere. It's invading other countries. We just, our occupation of Syria, our invasion and occupation of Syria continues to go on. And we're now invading Peru because, of course, I just had a video about that the other day. And just Central Intelligence Agency, there's another one. They think they're the smartest people in the room, but they are not very intelligent. So what government agencies do we really need? The only thing that really makes any sense out there is the Social Security Administration, which actually is dependent upon by a lot of people. Of course, they were forced to pay into it for how many decades. So, it would have been better if they hadn't been there either. So anyway, I know a lot of you are in the same boat too. It's just like, shut down all the non-essential government stuff out there. That would be a step up, not a step down. Anyway, if you want to check out another video from this channel, you might want to check out this video right here. I'll see you over there, or I'll see you guys later. Please hit the like button if you like this content, and I will see you guys later. Steve Poplar out.